All right, let me start by sharing my screen. Here you go. All right, so let me start by the personal story. So it's March 14th, 2011. It's 2 a.m. I'm in front of my computer lab, my computer in a computer lab in a small university in the middle of Sweden. Um, I'm trying to make my computer learn how to make a cartoon spaceship hover by itself. And specifically, I'm trying to write a code AI, an AI concept that is called reinforcement learning. And I'm naively doing so without the help of any developer tools. It's me, scientific papers, and my code editor. The combined feeling of exhaustion and excitement are making me in perfect symbiosis with my computer. And after countless hours of sweat, this happens. My cartoon vessel was hovering. I was at the dawn of my AI journey. I'm Francois-Xavier Darveau, computer scientist and head of engineering at Botpress, the standard developer stack to build, deploy, and run conversational AI applications. After our few minutes together, I hope you understand how AI platforms are making artificial intelligence simple for you. We'll first take a look at what's the most common commercial usage of artificial intelligence and why the roadblocks preventing you and your organization from implementing such concept. And finally, we'll take a look at what's the research and what the tech industry are doing to make those roadblocks fade away. All right, so let's start with a simple use case, the sushi bar. I need an algorithm that helps me, the manager, to order the right quantity of fresh fish for tomorrow. Thankfully, we keep a record of all orders. Um, Looking at the data as a human, I would say that a person eats on average 2.5 sushi rolls a meal, and we need approximately 125 grams of fresh fish per client. And I know that on Thursdays, I have a maximum of 300 clients. That makes approximately 37.5 kilograms of fresh fish for tomorrow. What we did here is very simple. We looked at the data and came up with a prediction function. Now let's replace that process of finding a formula that fits your data by a box that you can tweak. And here we go. We get the most common commercial use case of AI, machine learning for predictive analysis. What makes this box so interesting is that it can be used to find very complex formula that us humans cannot. It can find hidden pattern within the data we provide, and it turns it into something magical and useful for your organization. So back to our sushi bar problem. What if I don't know how many people will come tomorrow, or what if I want a more fine-grained prediction for each ingredient my customer eats? We could use historical data from weather or public data on nearby events or anything that can influence my daily affluence of customers and their choice of menu. So given that we have access to that data, so that would be our roadblock number one. We can simply plug it into our machine learning box, and once trained, we get a formula that we can use, a model that we can use later on to predict our fresh fish stocks. Sorry. And I'm hearing you say, Frank, it doesn't work that way. Well, yes, it works that way, but you guessed it right. It's a little more complicated than that. In fact, there are many boxes out there that will better suit your data type and whether it's text, numbers, or image, and so on. And once you choose the right box, you have to configure it for your prediction problem type, and then you can tweak it so it performs better. So yes, you're right. Data science is a little more complex than this oversimplified box. So let's make expertise our roadblock number two. There's another catch you need to know about. Some of them boxes requires gigantic data sets, and such amount of data is also synonym of lots of computing resources. So let's make computing resources our roadblock number three. And now let's assume you've made it this far, and you have a trained model that is ready for prediction. Now what? How can you share it with your colleagues or your client or whoever to actually drive value out of it. Well, you'll need your developer to work on packaging and distribution, and this is a whole lot of engineering problem, and we'll make that our roadblock number 4. So now that we have our short list of blockers, let's take a look at what's being done to get rid of each of them by the research in the industry, so you and your company can benefit from AI. So on to our roadblock number 1, access to data. Well, the good news is if your organization has been there for a while, you probably already have useful data, market analysis, inventory items, patient records, or even PDF documents. And all of them are useful when it comes to machine learning. So, and if you're only in the beginning of your business's journey and you don't have such data and you want to still profit from AI, well, just search for it. Just search for what you think might come handy. There are tons of open data sets out there, and that are available for free, really. And another advice that I can give you is to use the web, the biggest data source of all. A technique that is widely used by many developers is called web scraping. It allows developers to extract useful information from publicly available websites and turn it into useful data sets. So you could just ask your developers for it. And if that's not enough, or you just can't find what you're looking for, you can create your own data sets using data labeling tools. Some of them came out lately, and they make it easy for anyone to identify what's on an image, text, sound, and turn it into useful data set. Well, research can do much, right, for your access to data, but with that, we got I think roadblock number 1 covered. So on to our roadblock number 2, which is expertise. Now we have our data set. What do we do? This is definitely the biggest blocker of all. So on the research side, there's currently an overflow of scientific paper in AI. Lots of them are well explained and often comes with data set and code, which is accelerating the knowledge transfer to the industry. And this is very interesting, and this is why we see lots of improvement in the tech industry lately. Secondly, research teams have built tools to accelerate their work, and eventually those tools became the industry standard as well, making it easier for companies to incorporate AI in their software and drive value out of it. Another hot topic in research right now is to use AI to choose the best working box, so machine learning box, for your data. That's like AI inception, but it's very interesting. So in terms of on the industry, there's a ton of specialized machine learning services that nail one box specifically for you, depending on what your data sets, what your data type is, and you just look for it, or ask your developer to look for it, and there's probably something out there that will suit your need. And again, AutoML, I brought that in the industry again. An early version of the AutoML research trend is already available, already offered by all the major cloud providers. And it basically aims at doing all the training, tweaking automatically for you. And as of now, it's not perfect, but expect those type of services to dramatically improve in the next few years. So expertise is really like a roadblock, but it's fading away very, very fast. So let's move on to our roadblock number 3. Computing resources. With cloud computing, we virtually have unlimited amount of computing power, but it comes at a cost, both in time and money. So some very interesting concepts have been out there for a while in research, and I think that it was very interesting to share with you guys. So transfer learning or pre-training are both different but very similar concepts that allow a research team to train and release a very large model, very large algorithm that can later be used by another team. The latter will continue, let's say, the training phase on their potentially much smaller data set. and will benefit from the knowledge previously extracted from the original team. There's a lot more to it, but I think this is very important, and this is another reason why you see AI has been exploding in the last few years. This is something that you can use right now, and that you can harness to drive value out of AI right now. So another noteworthy concept is few-shot learning that is pretty straightforward to explain. Research teams have been looking to build algorithms that take very little amount of data to find patterns. So that covers our roadblock number 1 as well. This is very interesting. Let's go on number 4, which is distribution. Last but not least. Thankfully, most of the services that I was talking about earlier are handling all those challenges for you. They make your prediction function or model available through an application programming interface. You might have heard of it before or not. It doesn't matter. All you need to know is that APIs, or application programming interface, are a developer's best friend and make their lives much easier. So that's it. Our fourth roadblock is gone, just like that. So as roadblocks are disappearing one after the other, the tech industry is moving forward into building platforms that combine all of those techniques, tools, services in order to offer a richer, more powerful developer experience. With such platforms, developers can incorporate machine learning into their business applications and processes in a matter of days instead of weeks or months. Botpress is one of those platforms. It provides all the tools a developer need to build, distribute, and run conversational AI applications. And if you're interested in learning more, please visit our website, botpress.com, and go visit my colleagues at our virtual booth. Over the past 15 years, we saw AI going from being a sci-fi technology to being a human's best friend. It basically displays the right ad on social media, understands voice command, drive cars, discover new drugs. Well, it really helps us to do any tasks. So right now, it's your turn to profit out of it. All the tools you need are available right now, and you can just simply ask a developer, and they'll find a way. That's it for me, guys. I think I'm in 15 minutes, pretty much on time.